The law of Afghanistan. The legal system of Afghanistan consists of Islamic, statutory, and customary rules. It has developed over centuries and is currently changing in the context of the rebuilding of the Afghan state. The supreme law of the land is Sharia. In addition, there is complex legislation that stems from different historical periods. For instance, the so-called 4 volumes of civil law were developed on the basis of Egyptian models and promulgated in the time of the monarchy. Other legislation came into force under President Daud Khan, the Democratic Republic, 1978 to 1992, the Mujahideen, 1992 to 1996, the first Taliban regime, 1996 to 2001, the Islamic Republic of Afghanistan, 2004 to 2021, and to the current Islamic Empire of Afghanistan. Article 130 of the Afghan Constitution establishes that judges must apply the Constitution and legislation and may only resort to Hanafi fiqh, one of the schools of Islamic law, if a necessary legal rule cannot be found in the written laws. The judiciary system consists of 5 major courts. The Supreme Court, with the highest authority, with the 9 members, including the chief appointed by the President and the House of the People, per Article 117 and 118 of the Constitution. The Court of Appeals, composed of the chief, the head of the Diwans, and other judicial members. Selection is based on experience and qualification. Per Article 31, the head of the General Criminal Diwan commonly serves as deputy head of the Court of Appeals. The primary court, according to Article 40, primary courts are generally established within the Court of Appeal jurisdictions. New courts can be founded in the center of provinces with the approval of the Supreme Court President. In the juvenile court, this court is part of the primary court of every province and is made up of head and 3 judicial members. The fundamental laws of this court follow Article 44. The commercial court. This optional court system can be established within provinces and composed of the chief and 4 other judicial members. Per Article 45, commercial cases can be deliberated under primary court when commercial courts aren't available. Court cases are generally handled at the primary and appeals stages by 3 major judges. The secession stage could also be deliberated with 2 or more participant judges applying the Constitution and laws of the Islamic Republic of Afghanistan. The judiciary of Afghanistan currently consists of the Supreme Court, appeals courts, civil courts, and city courts. All justices of the appeals, civil, and city courts are presided over by Chief Justice of the Supreme Court. Although some individuals received secular judicial training in the early 2000s, the majority of the local court of officials came from Muslim religious schools and lacked judicial skills. However, the nominal requirements for participation in the judiciary are relatively high and the pay is quite low. The respective rules of Islamic and secular law is in the former judiciary system during the Islamic Republic era have not been well established. A large portion of the current law code is based on laws passed under the last king Muhammad Johir Shah, ruled 1933 to 73. In rural areas where local elders and tribunal authorities resolve criminal cases, victims often are verdicts often are based on Islamic and tribunal law. After returning to power in 2021, the Taliban removed women from judgeships in Afghanistan. The government of Canada agreed to resettle many Afghan women judges. Organization, Supreme Court. The Supreme Court of Islamic Emirate or Supreme Court of Afghanistan is the final court of appeal in Afghanistan. Per Article 117 and 118 of the Constitution, the chief can be appointed by the President and the House of the Peoples per Article 117 and 118 of the Constitution. The Court of Appeals are the court of second instance at the provincial level. Each court is currently presided over by a Chief Justice appointed by the Supreme Court. The heads of Dewans and additional judicial members can also serve in this court in accordance with Article 31. Civil courts. Civil courts operate at the provincial level in 7 provinces of Afghanistan as a civil court of first instance, operating on the same level of the provincial court of appeals. As its name implies, civil cases currently are handled at this level in their respective province. Each civil court is currently presided over by a Chief Justice appointed by the Supreme Court. Provinces that currently have civil courts as of 2021 are Baghlan, Samangan, Faryab, Sharipul, Kunar, Maidan Wardak, and Nuristan. City and municipal courts. City courts functions as the court of first instance at the municipal level across Afghanistan. Each court is currently presided over by a Chief Justice appointed by the Supreme Court. Prosecution of crimes. Under the Taliban, the courts both prosecute and decide the result of criminal cases. Under the Islamic Republic of Afghanistan, there was an independent attorney general and a system of prosecutors, but the Taliban transferred responsibility for the prosecution of crimes to the courts. Thank you, viewers.